what are your most important new findings?
We showed that teacher grades can reliably predict achievement throughout compulsory education and beyond. We found that teacher ratings were in very high agreement with standardized exam scores, and because exams come with a lot of anxiety for pupils and may shift educational experiences away from learning towards performing well at exams, we question the benefit of high-stakes exams.
Are you suggesting that we should abolish exams, and if so, which ones?
So we really question the need for high-stake exams, both during the primary school and secondary school education. The potential cost for these high-stake exams can be very high, and that's in terms of emotional stress, but also in terms of financial and pedagogical cost, while the benefit of these high-stake exams is modest at best. And to the extent to which there is high agreement between teacher ratings and exam scores, we can make a case of eliminating one of them. And we argue that teacher assessment should be the main focus in the curriculum, and that's for three main reasons. So firstly, teachers monitor students' progress over a longer period of time rather than focusing only on a couple very highly stressful days. Secondly, teacher assessment are a very useful tool for effective teaching in the classroom. And thirdly, teacher ratings are themselves partly based on in-class testing. And in-class testing is very good for the students because it's consolidating learning, especially when the testing is done frequently and regularly, rather than relying on a single high-stake exam.
Wouldn't relying on teacher assessments actually increase teacher workloads?
Well, we argue that it wouldn't because, as Kaili just said, teachers already monitor and assess children throughout the school year with low-stakes assessments. So what we are arguing is not to replace high-stake exams with high-stakes teacher assessments, but we are arguing for a potential benefit of replacing high-stake exams with low-stakes teacher grades that, done regularly throughout the years, can lead to a final grade that is based on more than just one occasion that might be very high anxiety provoking for the pupils.
Wouldn't parents be at a disadvantage if they couldn't use league tables?
Well, research from our lab has previously shown that schools actually explain very little variance in individual differences in school achievement between students. But also league tables, the problem we see with league tables is that these are not predictor necessarily, but are outcomes themselves. And in line with good or low, when an indicator becomes a target, then it loses its value as an indicator. And so what we are really arguing is that these league tables are targets, they're not indicators, and they should not be used as such.
Mm-hmm. And as a parent, I'm far more interested in the pastoral care the schools are providing and the well-being of students in the school. So I would like to see the well-being index when making decisions which school to send my children to. But we acknowledge that there has to be an accountability system to monitor schools and teachers. And to some extent, these accountability measures are already in place. For example, Ofsted ratings, where Ofsted inspectors will go to school and they assess the well-being of students, they assess the quality of teaching and the school management as well. The other possible reconciliation for this problem would be to do some random testing. So go to schools without notice and randomly pick a selection of students to do certain tests. But it would be very important then to make sure that these tests wouldn't have any implications for the students themselves. So not to provoke the same anxiety, but they would serve purely as an accountability measure of schools and teachers.
So what are you planning to do next?
Although the current study didn't assess the effect of these high-stake exams on mental health, the research has shown that educational pressures can lead to mental health problems and can really cast a long shadow in the lives of children. So in our future research plans, we really want to get to the heart of these associations between educational environments and mental health. But the findings of our current study really should inform that very timely debate of the cost of these high-stake exams, both during primary school and also during secondary school. And we argue that we should trust teachers to implement the curriculum and to monitor students' progress and abilities and inclinations. And this could lead to increased well-being for students as well as for their teachers, and hopefully bring back the joy of learning to the classroom.